It is midnight, somewhere in the world you came from. There are screens still glowing. There are notifications waiting. There are thoughts that refuse to stop. But not here. Here, there is only the night. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and let it go. You are leaving that world behind now. All of it. The noise, the rush, the weight of the day. Let it fall away like a coat you no longer need. Because tonight, you are going somewhere else. Somewhere that existed long before your worries. Long before your city. Long before almost everything you have ever known. Tonight, I am taking you to Rome, not the Rome of today, with its tourists and its traffic and its noise. The other Rome, the real Rome, the Rome that existed 2,000 years ago, when it was the greatest city on the surface of the earth, a city of 1 million people, at a time when most of the world had never seen a building taller than 2 stories, a city with running water and heated floors and libraries and markets open through the night, a city so vast, so alive, so magnificent that people who visited it for the first time simply stood in the street and wept. That is where we are going tonight. And we are going there at the best possible moment. Midnight, the hour when the crowds are gone, the hour when the noise has faded, the hour when Rome belongs to almost no one. Almost, because tonight it belongs to you. Feel the ground beneath you change. The soft surface you were lying on becomes something harder, something ancient, stone. Large flat stones fitted together so perfectly that 2,000 years of rain and cartwheels and marching soldiers have barely moved them. Feel the warmth rising from them. All day the Roman sun has been beating down on these streets. And now, in the deep silence of midnight, the stones are giving that warmth back, slowly, quietly, like a gift. The air around you is soft. It smells of dust and laurel leaves and something sweet, something faintly floral, drifting from a garden hidden behind a high wall somewhere nearby. Above you, the sky. No light pollution, no orange glow on the horizon. Just stars. More stars than you have ever seen in your life. The Romans looked up at this same sky every night. They named every star. They told stories about every constellation. They believed the gods had placed them there deliberately, like lanterns hung in the dark, to remind the people of Rome that they were never truly alone. You are not alone either. I am here with you. And Rome is waiting. It is the year 50 AD. The air tonight is still. Not the stillness of emptiness, the stillness of a city that has finally, after a long and extraordinary day, exhaled. 1,000,000 people breathing in the dark. 1,000,000 dreams beginning. One million lives pausing, just for a moment, just for this sacred window of night, between what happened today and what will happen tomorrow. You are in that window now. That pause between, that gift of darkness. Feel it around you. Feel how it holds you. Gently, without asking anything, without needing anything from you, just this, just the night. Just Rome, just you, and the stars above that have been watching over this city every single night for longer than memory reaches. They are watching over you too. Right now, in this moment, as they always have, as they always will, and somewhere beneath these stars, beneath this vast and patient sky, a city is sleeping. Your city, tonight, Rome. The greatest city the world has ever known. Resting in the dark, waiting for tomorrow. Waiting for you. There is no rush. There has never been any rush. Not tonight, not here, not in this city, not under these stars. Let your body grow heavy. Let your thoughts grow quiet. Let Rome come to you. Slowly, gently, the way it has always come, to those who are patient enough to wait for it. It is coming now. Can you feel it? The warmth of the stones beneath your feet, the softness of the night air on your skin, the distant sound of the Tiber moving quietly through the darkness, as it has moved every night for 2,000 years. You are here, really here, and Rome is ready for you. The Emperor Claudius sits on the throne of the greatest empire the world has ever seen. His empire stretches from the cold gray shores of Britain to the burning sands of Egypt, from the forests of Germany to the ancient cities of Persia. And at the very center of all of it is here. This city. This night. This street beneath your feet. There is nowhere to be. Nothing to do. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to remember. Tonight you have only one purpose: to walk, to breathe, to see, and slowly, gently, without even noticing when it happens, to sleep. Take one more breath. Feel your body grow heavy and warm and still. And when you are ready, open your eyes. You are in Rome, and the night has only just begun. Walk with me. The street ahead of you is narrow, so narrow that if you stretched both arms wide, you could almost touch the walls on either side. This is not like the streets you know. There are no white lines painted on the ground, no signs telling you where to go, no lights humming overhead, just stone and shadow and moonlight. The buildings on either side of you rise high into the night sky. 4 stories, 5 stories, some of them 6. The Romans called these buildings insulae, islands, and standing here between them, you understand why? Each one is its own small world, its own collection of lives stacked on top of each other, separated by nothing more than a few inches of wood and plaster. Look up. The wooden balconies on each floor lean out over the street, reaching toward the balconies on the other side, like hands almost touching across a great distance. Laundry hangs motionless between them. A white sheet, a dark tunic, something small, a child's garment perhaps, barely moving in the still night air. The moonlight catches it, and for a moment, it looks almost like a flag, a quiet flag of a quiet life lived high above the street. You begin to walk. Your footsteps on the stone are the loudest sound in the world right now. Each step echoes slightly off the walls, bouncing back to you, soft and hollow, like a whisper repeating itself. You slow down, not because you are tired, but because this street deserves to be walked slowly. Every stone beneath your feet has a story. These streets were laid by Roman engineers, men who understood that a road was not just a road, but a promise that the empire would hold, that the city would endure, that tomorrow would come, and the day after, and the century after that. They were right. These stones are still here. 2,000 years later, they are still here. You pass a doorway. The door is made of heavy, dark wood, studded with iron bolts, worn smooth by 10,000 hands, pushing it open over the years. Beside it, scratched into the plaster of the wall, is a drawing. Just a few simple lines. A boat. Someone drew a boat here. Perhaps a child, waiting for a parent to come home, perhaps a sailor, homesick for the sea, perhaps just someone who wanted to leave a mark, to say, "I was here." You trace the lines with your finger. The plaster is cool and slightly rough beneath your touch. "I was here," you move on. Further down the street, a cat appears from nowhere. It sits in the center of the road, perfectly still, watching you with yellow eyes that catch the moonlight like two small flames. Rome has always been full of cats. They were everywhere in the ancient city, sliding through the shadows, sleeping on warm stones, moving through the night as if they owned it, which, in many ways, they did. The cat blinks once, then turns and disappears into an alley so narrow and dark, it seems less like a gap between buildings and more like a crack in the world itself. You watch it go, and then you hear something. From somewhere above you, on one of the high floors of the building to your left, comes the sound of a voice, not speaking, singing, very quietly, very slowly. A woman's voice, low and soft, barely more than a hum. A lullaby. You stand still and listen. You do not understand the words. They are in Latin, an old form of Latin, full of sounds that have not been spoken aloud for 2,000 years. But you understand the feeling. Every human being who has ever lived has understood this feeling. Hush now. You are safe. Sleep now. I am here. The singing continues as you walk, getting softer, getting further away, until it is just the edge of a sound, just the memory of a melody dissolving into the night air around you. You turn a corner, and another street opens up before you, wider this time. The buildings here are older, their stones darker, their walls thick with the accumulated shadows of centuries. At the far end of the street, a single torch burns in an iron bracket on the wall. Its flame is small, but in all this darkness, it is extraordinary. It throws a circle of warm amber light onto the stones below. And in that circle of light, a man is sleeping. He is sitting with his back against the wall, his chin resting on his chest, his hands folded in his lap. A night watchman, one of the vigils, the men whose job it was to patrol the streets of Rome after dark, to watch for fires, to keep the peace, to make sure the city survived until morning. Tonight, his city is surviving without him. His chest rises and falls slowly. His face in the torchlight is completely peaceful. You walk past him quietly, careful not to wake him. He has earned his rest. Haven't we all? The street narrows again ahead of you. The buildings lean closer. The sky above shrinks to a ribbon of deep blue, scattered with stars. You walk slowly through this ribbon of night, this canyon of ancient stone, this city that has been sleeping and waking and sleeping again for longer than almost anything else on earth. And something settles in your chest, something quiet, something that feels very much like peace. There is a whole city around you. 1 million people, all breathing, all dreaming, all lost in their own private worlds of sleep. and you are walking through the spaces between them, invisible, weightless, free. The night watchman's torch flickers behind you now, growing smaller as you walk away. Ahead, something warm and golden glows at the end of the street. A light? No. Many lights. And with them, carried on the soft night air toward you, a smell, wood smoke, and something else, something that makes your whole body slow down and your senses sharpen and your mouth, almost without meaning to, begin to water. Roasting meat. Fresh bread. The market is close now. Very close. Your feet. Without being asked, begin to move a little faster. You turn the corner and the world changes. A moment ago there was silence, darkness, the soft echo of your own footsteps. Now there is light, warm, golden, flickering light, spilling out from 100 torches mounted along the walls of the widest street you have seen tonight. And there is sound, not the loud, chaotic sound of a daytime market. Something softer than that. The low murmur of voices, the scrape of a wooden stool on stone, the soft thud of bread being placed on a counter, the gentle clinking of clay cups, the night market of Rome. It never closes, not truly. While the rest of the city sleeps, this place breathes on, quieter than it was at noon, slower than it was at sunset, but alive, always alive. You step into the light, and immediately the smell wraps around you like a blanket. Wood smoke first, that deep, ancient smell of burning oak, the same smell that has meant warmth and safety and food for every human being who has ever lived. Then the bread, fresh bread, pulled just minutes ago from the clay ovens that line the back wall of the bakery to your left. The smell is extraordinary, warm and yeasty and slightly sweet, with something underneath it, something earthy, something that speaks directly to a part of you that is older than thought. You are hungry. Not desperately hungry, just pleasantly, gently hungry, the way you feel when the evening has been long and good, and the day is finally over, and all that remains is this: food and warmth and the quiet company of strangers. You walk slowly along the row of stalls. The first stall sells olives, dozens of varieties, arranged in wide clay bowls, glistening in the torchlight. Black olives from the hills outside the city, green olives preserved in the herbs and oil, small wrinkled olives that look ancient, as if they have been curing since before Rome itself was built. The man behind the stall is old. His face is the face of someone who has stood behind this exact stall, in this exact spot, for 40 years. He knows every olive by name. He knows every customer by face. He sees you looking and says nothing. Just nods, the way people nod at midnight when words feel like too much effort, and a nod says everything that needs to be said. You move on. The next stall sells wine. Amphorae stacked in neat rows, their pointed bases resting in holes dug into the stone counter, keeping them stable, keeping them cool. The wine seller is a young woman, perhaps 20 years old, perhaps younger. She is sitting on a low stool behind her stall, her eyes half closed, her head resting against the wall behind her. Not quite asleep, not quite awake, that perfect in-between place where the body is still and the mind drifts and the world becomes soft and distant and kind. You know that place. You are heading there yourself. You reach the bakery and you stop because the baker is something to watch. He is a large man, broad-shouldered, with arms like the branches of an old tree. His tunic is dusted white with flour from collar to hem. His hands, his extraordinary hands, move through the dough with a confidence that comes from 10,000 repetitions. Fold, press, turn, fold, press, turn. He does not look at what he is doing. He does not need to. His hands know the way. He has been awake since the 3rd hour of the night. This is his world, the quiet hours before dawn, when the city is sleeping and he is working, so that when Rome wakes up, there will be bread. There is something deeply moving about this. This man, this baker, has been doing this his whole life. His father did it before him, his grandfather before that. The bread of Rome, baked in the dark, by hands that never stop moving. He places a finished loaf on the counter in front of you. Round and golden, still steaming slightly, its crust scored with a pattern of lines that his family has used for generations. You pick it up. It is warm in your hands, heavier than you expected, substantial, real. You break off a piece. The crust cracks with a sound that is deeply satisfying, and the smell that rises from inside is indescribable. You eat it slowly. It tastes of wheat and salt and wood smoke. It tastes of olive oil pressed from trees that grow on the hills you can just see from the city walls on a clear day. It tastes of water from the aqueducts, water that has traveled 40 miles through stone channels just to arrive in this city, just to become part of this bread, just to end up here in your hands on this night. It tastes like Rome. You stand and eat and say nothing. The baker works on beside you. Neither of you needs to speak. This is enough. This bread, this warmth, this light. Did you know that in ancient Rome, cooking inside apartments was forbidden by law? The buildings were so tall and so close together and built so largely of wood that a single unattended flame could destroy an entire neighborhood in hours. Rome burned more than once, more than anyone cared to count. And so the law was clear. no cooking fires inside, which meant that for most Romans, every single meal of their lives was eaten outside. At stalls like these, the city had over 150 thermopolia, ancient fast food counters scattered through every neighborhood, open day and night, serving hot food to anyone who needed it. Rome was the first city in history to have a 24-hour food culture. Think about that. 2,000 years ago, in this city, you could walk out of your door at any hour of the night and find warm food waiting for you. Some things do not change. You finish your bread. The baker glances at you, nods once, you nod back, and you walk on, warm now, fed now, carrying the smell of the bakery with you in your clothes and your hair, like a memory you are not ready to let go of yet. The market thins out ahead of you. The torches grow fewer. The voices quieter. Until you turn one final corner. And the market is gone. Behind you, its warm glow pulses softly in the dark, like a heartbeat. Like Rome itself, steady, constant, alive, ahead of you. Silence. And at the end of a long, straight path of pale stone, something white, something tall, something that seems to glow from within, as if it has been absorbing moonlight all night and is only now beginning to give it back. You walk toward it. Slowly, already feeling something change in the air around you. Something quieter. Something older. Something sacred. You almost walk past it. From the outside, it looks like any other building on this street. Thick stone walls, a heavy wooden door, no sign, no decoration. But then you notice the light. Thin lines of warm amber escaping through the gaps around the door frame. And the steam, rising from a narrow vent high in the wall, curling upward into the cold night air, disappearing into the dark above, and the sound, so faint you almost miss it. Water, moving water, warm water, the sound of it lapping gently against stone walls somewhere deep inside. The bathhouse. You push the door open, and the warmth hits you first. A wall of soft, enveloping, extraordinary warmth, not the sharp, dry heat of a fire. Something gentler than that. Something that seems to come from everywhere at once, from the floors beneath your feet, from the walls on either side, from the very air itself. The Romans called this system the hypocaust, hot air pumped through channels beneath the floor and inside the walls by furnaces burning day and night in the basement below. The most sophisticated heating system the ancient world had ever seen. And standing here now, feeling it wrap around you like warm water, you understand completely why the Romans considered the bathhouse not a luxury, but a necessity. You move deeper inside. The entrance hall is simple. Stone benches along the walls, small oil lamps in iron brackets casting pools of golden light, hooks on the wall where clothes can be hung. At this hour, most of the hooks are empty, but not all. You move through a low archway and into the first room, the tepidarium, the warm room. It is a large rectangular space, its ceiling vaulted high above, its walls decorated with simple geometric patterns in faded red and ochre. In the center of the room, sunk into the floor, a shallow pool. Its water is perfectly still, perfectly clear. The lamplight plays across its surface, sending soft ripples of reflected light dancing slowly across the ceiling above. You sit on the edge and lower your feet into the water. It is warm, exactly the right temperature. Not hot enough to shock, not cool enough to wake you, just perfect. You let your eyes close for a moment. The warmth moves up through your feet, through your ankles, spreading slowly through your whole body like something being poured. Every muscle you did not know was tense begins to let go. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclenches. Your breathing slows. In this room, in this warmth, at this hour, everything that felt important an hour ago feels very far away. There is one other person in the room, an old man, sitting on the far side of the pool, his feet also in the water, his eyes also closed. His face is extraordinary. The face of someone who has lived a very long and very full life. Deep lines around his eyes, a white beard, hands that are spotted and veined and slightly trembling, resting quietly in his lap. He is completely still. He has been coming to this bathhouse, you somehow know this, for 50 years. Every night, this pool, this warmth, this silence, his whole life contained in this ritual. You watch him breathe, in and out, in and out, and your own breathing, without you asking it to, begins to match his, slow and deep and easy. You sit like this for a long time, the water barely moving around your feet, the light barely moving on the ceiling above, the old man barely moving on the other side of the pool. Time moves differently in here, slower, or perhaps not slower, perhaps just more honestly. Because this is what time actually feels like when you are not rushing through it. This is what a moment actually is when you let yourself be inside it, warm, still, complete. Did you know that the Romans considered bathing not just a physical act, but a spiritual one? The bathhouse was not just a place to get clean, it was a place to become yourself again. After the noise of the day, after the work and the worry and the weight of being alive in a city of 1 million people, you came to the bathhouse and you left it behind. All of it. The Romans had a phrase for it: mens sana in corpore sano. A healthy mind in a healthy body. They understood something that we sometimes forget: that the body and the mind are not separate things, that when the body is warm and still and cared for, the mind follows. It has no choice. It simply lets go. You feel it happening now. The thoughts that were circling, slowing down, the edges of things, softening. The world outside these warm stone walls, growing quieter and further away and less urgent. With every breath, the old man across the pool opens his eyes. He looks at you. And smiles. Just slightly. Just enough. The smile of someone who knows exactly what you are feeling right now, because he has felt it himself every night for 50 years. You smile back. No words are needed. No words exist that would add anything to this moment. You lift your feet slowly from the water. The air feels cool against your skin for just a moment before the warmth of the room wraps around you again. You stand. Your whole body feels different now, heavier in the best possible way. The heaviness of someone who has put something down and does not need to pick it up again tonight. You pass back through the low archway, through the entrance hall, and out through the heavy wooden door, into the night. The cool air meets you gently. You carry the warmth of the bathhouse with you, deep in your bones, deep in your chest, settled somewhere quiet and central, like a small, steady flame. It will stay with you all the way through the rest of this night. All the way into sleep. Ahead of you. The long stone path continues. And at the end of it, white marble columns rising into the moonlit sky, like something dreamed rather than built. The temple waiting for you. As it has been waiting for 2,000 years. You stand at the bottom of the steps, and you do not move, not yet, because some places deserve a moment before you enter them. Some places ask something of you, not much, just a breath, just a moment of stillness, just the willingness to arrive completely. This is one of those places, the Temple of Saturn, one of the oldest buildings in Rome, older than the forum that surrounds it, older than most of the streets you have walked tonight, older than almost anything still standing in this city. It was first built over 500 years before this night. 500 years. Think about that. The stone beneath your feet has been here, absorbing the weight of 5 centuries of human life, 5 centuries of prayers and festivals and offerings and tears, before tonight even began. You look up, 16 columns of white marble rise above you, each one the height of 10 men. Each one carved from a single piece of stone, quarried from mountains far from here, hauled across hundreds of miles, raised into position by human hands and ropes and ingenuity, and placed here, precisely here. Not a fraction of an inch to the left, not a fraction to the right. The Romans understood something about precision that we have perhaps forgotten, that when you build something to last forever, every detail matters. Every angle, every measurement, every choice, because forever is watching. The moon is directly above the temple now, sitting between the columns like a lantern, hung there deliberately. Its light falls straight down through the open roof onto the stone floor of the inner sanctuary, creating a perfect circle of silver light. A spotlight on an empty stage. You begin to climb the steps, one at a time. Each step is wide and shallow, designed to be climbed slowly, as if the temple itself is asking you, do not rush. There is nothing up here that requires rushing toward, only stillness, only stone, only the quiet company of something very old. You reach the top and stop. The view from here is extraordinary. The forum spreads out below you, the great open space at the heart of Rome, empty now. Its marble paving stones, pale and luminous in the moonlight. On normal days, this place is impossible, packed with people from sunrise to sunset. Merchants and lawyers and senators and beggars and priests and soldiers and children and dogs, all of them talking, all of them moving, all of them wanting something from someone, but not now. Now it is just stone and moonlight and silence. The most beautiful version of itself. You turn and face the temple. The columns surround you now. 16 pale giants standing in a perfect row. Their surface is smooth and cool under your hand as you rest your palm against the nearest one. The marble is extraordinary. Not cold exactly, just without warmth. The temperature of something that exists outside of time. You sit between 2 columns. Your back against the stone, your legs stretched out before you. Above you, through the open space between the columns, the stars. So many stars. The Romans had names for all of them, not just the constellations. Individual stars, each one cataloged, named, given a story. Because the Romans understood that a sky full of unnamed things is a sky full of fear. But a sky full of named things is a sky full of friends, They looked up at this same sky every night, and they were not afraid. They were home. You look up at the same stars now. The same light that fell on Roman eyes 2,000 years ago is falling on your eyes tonight. Think about that for a moment. That light left its source long before Rome was built. It traveled through the darkness of space for longer than human civilization has existed, just to arrive here, just to fall on this temple, just to reach your eyes, just to be seen. Something inside you goes quiet, not the quiet of emptiness, the quiet of being exactly where you are supposed to be, the quiet of someone who has stopped and looked up and remembered how large everything is and how small, in the most comforting possible way, you are. Did you know that Roman temples were never meant for ordinary people? This surprises almost everyone, because when we think of a temple, we think of a place of worship, a place where people gather, where communities come together, where the doors are always open. But Roman temples were nothing like this. The temple was the private home of the god. A house, a residence. The statue of the god lived inside, in the inner sanctuary, in the perfect circle of moonlight you can see on the floor before you, and only the priests, specially trained, ritually purified, could enter. Ordinary Romans were not allowed inside. Ever their worship happened out here, on these steps, in this open air, under this sky. They brought offerings and placed them on the altar outside. They said their prayers facing the closed doors of the temple. They sacrificed animals in the space between the columns, in the same spot where you are sitting now. Religion in ancient Rome happened in the open, under the stars, in the rain, in the heat, in the cold, face to face with the sky. There is something about this that feels deeply right. Sitting here now, between these ancient columns, under these ancient stars, you understand completely why they chose to worship here, not inside. Out here, where everything is real, where the wind moves, where the stars shine, where the stone beneath you has been here longer than memory. You lean your head back against the column. The marble is smooth against your skin. Above you, the stars wheel slowly in their ancient patterns. The same patterns the Romans watched, the same patterns their grandparents watched, the same patterns that will still be turning long after everything we have built has become ruins as beautiful as these. There is enormous comfort in this. The permanence of the sky, the patience of the stars, the way the universe continues, quietly, magnificently, regardless of what any of us are worrying about tonight. You close your eyes just for a moment, and in the darkness behind your eyelids, you can still see them. The stars, printed on your vision like a gift. You sit here for a long time, longer than you planned. The temple holds you gently, the way that only very old things can, without effort, without asking anything in return, simply present, simply here, as it has always been, as it will always be. Eventually, you rise slowly, your body reluctant to leave this warmth, this stillness, this ancient company. You descend the steps one by one, and at the bottom, you turn and look back up at the temple one last time. The columns glow white in the moonlight. The circle of silver light still falls on the empty floor inside. Everything exactly as it was. Everything exactly as it has always been. You turn away and walk on into the night, carrying the silence of the temple with you, like something precious, like something you will not put down. Not tonight. Perhaps not ever. You hear it before you see it. Not a sound exactly, more like an absence of sound. A silence so large, so complete, that it has a texture of its own. You turn a corner and stop. Completely, because nothing in your experience of this city tonight has prepared you for this, the Circus Maximus, the largest structure you have ever seen in your life. It stretches before you like a valley, like a canyon, like something the earth itself made rather than human hands. 600 meters long, 200 meters wide. Its tiered stone seats rising on both sides, tier after tier after tier, climbing so high that the topmost rows disappear into the darkness above. It can hold 250,000 people, 250,000 human beings, sitting here in this space, screaming for their favorite charioteer, but not tonight. Tonight it holds only you, and the moonlight, and the silence. You walk slowly toward the entrance, a wide archway of stone, tall enough for a chariot and its horses to pass through at full gallop. You step through it, and into the arena. The track stretches away from you in both directions, curving gently at each end, forming the long oval that has hosted more human drama, more triumph and tragedy and heartbreak than almost any other place on earth. The sand of the track is pale in the moonlight, smooth now, raked clean. Every mark of the day's practice erased. But you can feel what happened here, the thunder of hooves, the screaming of the crowd, the smell of dust and sweat and horse and leather rising in a great wave over 250,000 people, all of them on their feet, all of them forgetting everything except this moment, this race, this man on this chariot on this track. The Romans loved chariot racing the way we love nothing else, more than gladiators, more than theater, more than politics. The great charioteers were the most famous people in the empire, their faces painted on walls, their names written on everything, crowds following them through the streets. A successful charioteer could earn more in a single race than a Roman soldier earned in a lifetime. You walk to the center of the track and stand there. In the middle of this enormous empty space, the seats rise on all sides around you, tier upon tier upon tier, all of them empty, all of them waiting. You turn slowly, taking it all in, the scale of it, the ambition of it, the sheer, magnificent, human insistence that something this large, this extraordinary, should exist, because it could, because we could build it, because we wanted to. There is something deeply moving about this. This building was not necessary. Rome did not need a circus. Rome needed food and water and shelter. Rome needed roads and aqueducts and walls. But Rome also built this because human beings need more than survival. They need wonder. They need spectacle. They need to sit beside 249,999 other people and feel for one extraordinary hour that they are all part of the same thing, the same city, the same moment, the same life. You sit on the edge of the track. The sand is cool beneath your hands, fine and pale and soft. You let it run through your fingers. It falls in a thin stream, catching the moonlight as it falls. Each grain a tiny point of silver light. Gone in a moment, like everything, like the races that happened here today, like the crowds that filled these seats, like the charioteers whose names were on everyone's lips this morning and will be forgotten in 100 years. Gone. And yet the track remains. The stone remains. The shape of this place remains, holding the memory of everything that happened here, the way a bowl holds water, invisibly, faithfully, without complaint. Did you know that the charioteers of Rome were almost all slaves? The most celebrated athletes in the ancient world, the men whose faces were painted on walls across the empire, the men whose names children shouted in the streets. Most of them had no freedom. They were owned by the racing factions, the blues and the greens and the reds and the whites, the ancient equivalent of sports teams that controlled chariot racing in Rome. A slave would be trained from childhood, taught to handle horses that most men would not dare approach, taught to race at speeds that made the ground blur beneath the wheels, taught to navigate the sharp turns at each end of the track, where most accidents happened, where most men died. And if he was good enough, if he survived long enough, If he won enough races, he could buy his freedom. Some of them did. The most successful charioteer in Roman history, a man named Gaius Appius Diocles, won 1,462 races over a career of 24 years. He retired wealthy. He retired free. His prize money in today's terms would be worth approximately $15 billion. You sit with this for a moment, the sand still cool beneath your hands, the empty seats rising around you. Somewhere up in those seats, 2,000 years ago, a child sat with his father and watched Diocles race and went home and could not sleep, too full of wonder, too full of the memory of those horses, that track, that man. You understand that child completely. You stand slowly and look one last time at the track, stretching away from you in both directions. The long, pale oval of it, the silence of it, the patience of it, waiting for tomorrow, when the crowds will return, when the horses will thunder, when the noise will rise to the sky. But not yet. Not tonight. Tonight, it is yours, all of it, every empty seat, every grain of sand, every stone. You walk back through the wide archway and out into the night. The city waits around you, patient, quiet, breathing. You look up at the sky. The stars have moved since you entered the circus, just slightly, the way they always move, the way they have always moved, the way they will always move. Turning slowly above this city, above this track, above everything that has ever happened here and everything that ever will. You breathe in the night air, cool and clean and faintly sweet, and you walk on, up the hill, toward the most powerful address in the known world, toward the place where the emperor sleeps, toward the Palatine. The hill rises before you, gently at first, then steeper. Your footsteps slow as the path climbs, but you do not mind. There is nowhere to rush to. There has never been anywhere to rush to. Not tonight. The path is lined with cypress trees, tall and dark and perfectly still. They stand like sentinels on either side, their pointed tops reaching toward the stars, their shadows falling across the path in long dark stripes. You walk through light and shadow. Light and shadow, light and shadow. The rhythm of it is hypnotic, like breathing, like the slow turning of the world itself. The air up here is different, cleaner, cooler, carrying the faint scent of pine and night flowers, and something else underneath, something rich and complex. The smell of old stone and old wood and old power. The smell of the Palatine, the most important hill in the world. 7 hills form the city of Rome. But this one is different. This is the hill where Rome began, where Romulus drew the first boundary of the city, over 700 years before this night, where the first Romans built their first homes, where the Republic grew, where the Empire was born, and where, tonight, the Emperor Claudius sleeps. You reach the top of the hill and stop. The palace walls rise before you, enormous, silent, impenetrable. The stone is a deep, warm ochre, the color of old honey, the color of a city that has been building itself for 7 centuries. The walls are thick, thicker than 3 men lying end to end, built not just to keep enemies out, but to keep everything in. The secrets, the power, the extraordinary weight of ruling the known world. You walk slowly along the base of the wall, your hand trailing against the stone. It is warm, warmer than you expected, as if the palace itself is alive, as if all those centuries of human drama, all that ambition and betrayal and love and murder and genius and madness, has somehow been absorbed into the stone itself and is still radiating outward slowly, quietly, in the deep of the night. From somewhere inside the walls, the sound of a flute, so faint you are not sure at first that you are hearing it. You stop walking and listen. Yes, a flute playing slowly, a melody so simple, so ancient, that it seems less like something composed and more like something remembered. A melody the world has always known. You lean against the wall and listen. Who is playing? A musician employed to help the emperor sleep? A servant sitting alone in a courtyard? Playing for no one? Playing for everyone? Playing simply because the night is long and music makes it shorter? You do not know. It does not matter. The music is here, and you are here, and the night is here. And that is everything. You walk to the edge of the hill and look out over Rome, and what you see stops your breath. The entire city spreads before you. From up here, you can see all of it. The Forum below, its marble columns pale and luminous. The Circus Maximus to your left, its great oval shape visible even in the darkness. The Tiber beyond, a slow silver ribbon curling through everything and everywhere. Light, 1,000 fires burning in the darkness, not the blazing fires of disaster. Small fires, warm fires, the fire of the baker still working in his kitchen, the fire of the night watchman at his post, the fire of the mother sitting up with a sick child, the fire of the scholar reading by lamplight long after everyone else has gone to sleep. 1,000 small lights holding back the darkness, keeping the city alive through the night. You have never seen anything so beautiful in your life. Not because it is perfect, but because it is real. because every one of those fires represents a life, a real human life being lived right now in this city on this night. 1 million lives, 1 million fires, 1 million stories unfolding simultaneously in the dark. And you, standing up here on this ancient hill, can see all of them at once. Did you know that the word palace comes from this hill? Every language in the Western world carries this place inside it. Palazzo in Italian, palais in French, palace in English, palast in German, palacio in Spanish. All of them, every single one, descended from one word, palladium. This hill, this place, the emperors of Rome lived here for 5 centuries. From Augustus, the first emperor, to the last days of the Western Empire. 5 centuries of the most powerful people in the world, sleeping and waking and eating and plotting and loving and dying within these walls, and leaving their address, their hill, their name in every language forever. You are standing on the word itself. The music from inside the walls continues, slow and sweet and ancient. It drifts out over the city below, over the 1,000 fires, over the sleeping streets, over the market and the temple and the circus, over all of it, holding Rome together in the dark, the way music has always held things together, the way beauty has always held things together, the way the simple act of one person sitting alone somewhere and making something lovely has always been enough. More than enough. You stay here for a long time, longer than you planned, the city below you breathing its slow night breath, the music behind you playing its ancient melody, the stars above turning in their patient circles. You are exactly, precisely, completely where you are supposed to be. There is nowhere else. There has never been anywhere else. Only here. Only this. Only now. Eventually, the music fades, not stopping suddenly, just growing quieter and quieter and quieter still, until it is just the memory of music, just the shape of a melody, floating in the air, looking for somewhere to rest. You give it somewhere. You carry it with you as you turn from the view, as you walk back along the wall, as you begin the slow descent of the hill. Back down through the cypress trees, back through light and shadow, light and shadow, light and shadow, down toward the river, down toward the oldest sound in Rome, down toward the water, down toward rest. You hear the river before you see it, a low, continuous sound, deeper than the sounds of the city, older than anything you have heard tonight. Water moving over stone, water moving through darkness, water that has been moving through this exact valley for longer than memory reaches. You follow the sound down through narrowing streets, past sleeping buildings, past walls thick with climbing plants that seem almost black in the moonlight, until the streets end and the river begins. You step onto the dock. The wooden planks beneath your feet are worn smooth, polished by 10,000 boots and bare feet and sandals, by ropes dragged across them, by crates and amphorae and bales of cloth, by the daily labor of a port that never truly stops. But it has stopped tonight. Almost. The port of Rome at midnight is a different world from the port of Rome at noon. At noon, this place is chaos. Ships arriving from every corner of the empire. From Egypt, heavy with grain enough to feed 1 million people. From Spain, carrying oil and wine and silver. From Britain, with wool and tin and hunting dogs bred for the Roman arenas. From the far edges of the known world, carrying spices and silk and ivory and things that have no Latin name yet, because Rome has only just discovered they exist. At noon, the docks are packed with men, shouting and hauling and arguing and sweating in a dozen languages, under a Roman sun that shows no mercy. But now the ships are sleeping. They line the docks in long, dark rows, their hulls resting low in the black water, their masts rising into the night sky like a leafless forest. Some of them have traveled extraordinary distances to be here. That wide, flat merchant vessel tied to the nearest post, its hull stained with salt and distance, arrived 3 days ago from Alexandria. It left Egypt when the air there was hot enough to make the stones shimmer, and crossed the entire Mediterranean, following stars and wind and the accumulated knowledge of 1,000 sailors before them, to arrive here, to this dock, this river, this city. You walk slowly along the dock. The river moves quietly beside you, dark and wide and deep, its surface broken here and there by small eddies, slow circles of water, forming and dissolving, endlessly patient. On the deck of a nearby ship, 3 sailors are sleeping, wrapped in rough cloaks against the night air, their breathing slow and deep and synchronized. The way the breathing of people who have slept side by side for months at sea eventually becomes. One of them stirs slightly, pulls his cloak tighter, and is still again. You watch him settle back into sleep and feel something move in your own chest. A heaviness, a good heaviness. The heaviness of a body that has walked far tonight and seen much and is beginning, very gently, to ask for rest, not demanding it, just suggesting it. the way a good friend suggests something, quietly, without pressure, knowing you will get there in your own time. You sit on the edge of the dock, your legs hanging over the water. The river moves below you, dark and slow and eternal. You look upstream. The Tiber stretches away into the darkness, curving gently, its banks lined with sleeping buildings, its surface catching and releasing the moonlight, the way water always does, effortlessly, beautifully, without trying. Did you know that Rome was built here precisely because of this river, not beside the sea, where you might expect the greatest city in the world to be, inland, on a river? The founders of Rome understood something, that a city on the sea is vulnerable, open to attack from every direction, at the mercy of storms and tides and the ambitions of other seafaring peoples. But a city on a river, a city set back from the coast, protected by hills, fed by water that flows through its heart, that city could endure, and Rome endured for 1,000 years as a republic, an empire, for another 1,000 as the center of the Christian world. And still today, 2,000 years after this night, it endures. The eternal city, that is what they called it. Roma Aeterna, eternal Rome. Not because they were certain it would last forever, but because they hoped it would, because they built it as if it would, because they loved it enough to give it a name that asked it, almost pleaded with it, to never end. The river carries that hope in it still, moving through the city, connecting the past to the present, connecting this night to every night that has ever happened here. You trail your hand in the water. It is cool and soft and alive with gentle movement. The same water that the senators drank, the same water that the emperors bathed in, the same water that 10,000 ships have sailed upon. Moving through your fingers now, cool and real and present, a cargo ship further down the dock shifts slightly in the current. Its ropes creak against the mooring posts, a low, slow sound like something breathing in its sleep. The sailors on the nearby ship do not stir. They have heard this sound every night for years. It is the sound of safety to them. The sound of the ship held firm, the sound of the dock beneath them, the sound of being. For one more night, exactly where they are supposed to be. You understand this sound now too. You lift your hand from the water. The drops fall back into the river one by one, each one making a tiny circle that spreads outward and outward and outward until it disappears. You watch the circles fade and feel something fade with them, something you've been carrying without knowing it, some last small weight, some final resistance, gone now, into the river, into the dark water, into the endless patient current that carries everything eventually, gently, inevitably, to the sea. You stand and look one last time at the sleeping ships, at the sailors wrapped in their cloaks, at the river moving quietly past all of it, holding everything, carrying everything, releasing everything. You turn away from the dock and walk along the bank of the river. The grass soft beneath your feet now, the stone of the city left behind, the river beside you, moving with you at your pace, in your direction, as if it has been waiting for you all night, as if it has always known that this is where the night would end. You sit for a while longer, not ready to leave. Not yet. There is something about this place, something that asks you to stay. Just a little longer. Just a little longer in the dark. The ships breathe around you, their ropes creaking softly against the wooden posts. A slow, rhythmic sound, like a heartbeat, like Rome itself, breathing in the dark. You look at the water. The river carries everything. The reflections of the stars above, the shadows of the ships beside you, the memories of 10,000 nights just like this one. Nights when other people sat here, just like you, looking at the same water, listening to the same sounds, feeling the same quietness settle over them, like a blanket, like a gift. You are not the first person to find peace here. You will not be the last. The river does not distinguish. It flows for everyone. For the emperor on his hill, for the baker in his kitchen, for the sailors on their ships, for you, sitting here in the last hour of the night, for all of you, always. The water moves, the stars reflect, the city sleeps, and somewhere very far away, at the edge of the known world, the first light of dawn is already touching the horizon. Not here yet, but coming, always coming, slowly, gently, the way all good things come, without hurry, without noise, without asking anything of you. You stand slowly, your body heavy with the night, heavy with the walking, heavy with the seeing, heavy in the best possible way. The heaviness of someone who has been somewhere real, who has seen something true, who has walked through a city that existed 2,000 years ago and felt it breathe. You turn from the river and walk along the bank. The grass soft beneath your feet. The night air cool on your skin. The sound of the water following you. Gently. Like a friend walking beside you. Like Rome itself, walking you home. Here, beside the water, in the last soft hour before dawn. You walk along the bank. The grass beneath your feet is cool and damp now. The night has reached that point, that particular hour, when the dew begins to settle on everything, on the grass, on the leaves of the trees lining the bank, on the wooden planks of the dock behind you, on your own skin, a coolness that is not cold, just fresh. The freshness of a world that is preparing itself, getting ready for something, not rushing toward it, just leaning gently in its direction, the way you lean toward sleep, not forcing it, not chasing it, just allowing it, opening yourself to it, trusting that it will come. The river moves beside you. You have been walking beside it for several minutes now, and in that time you have not thought of a single thing from the world you came from. Not one. The things that felt urgent this morning, where are they now? Somewhere very far away. Somewhere that does not exist tonight. Somewhere that will still be there tomorrow, if you want it to be. But right now, there is only the river and the grass and the dew and the last stars of the night. You find a place on the bank where the grass grows thick and soft, a natural hollow in the ground, shaped almost as if it was made for exactly this, for exactly you, for exactly this moment. You lie down. The earth beneath you is solid and certain and deeply reassuring. It holds you completely, without effort, without condition, without asking anything in return. The grass rises around you on either side, soft walls of green and silver enclosing you gently. Above you, the sky, the vast open Roman sky, still dark, still full of stars, but different now. The stars that were high overhead when you began your walk tonight have moved toward the western horizon, and in the east, just at the very edge of the world, the faintest suggestion of something. Not light exactly. The memory of light, the idea of light, a darkness that is very slightly, imperceptibly becoming less dark. The Romans had a name for this moment. Diluculum, the first glimmer, the moment before dawn, when the night has not yet ended and the day has not yet begun. The threshold, the in-between, the most mysterious and beautiful moment of any 24 hours. You are lying in it right now, held between the night and the day, between the world of sleep and the world of waking, between Rome as it is and Rome as it is about to become. The river moves beside you, its sound filling the air around you completely, low and continuous and deeply soothing, like a voice speaking in a language older than words, like something your body understands, even if your mind does not. Your breathing slows without you asking it to. Your body making its own quiet decisions now, loosening, settling, releasing. Your hands rest open at your sides. Your shoulders fall back into the earth. Your eyes grow heavy, not forcibly, just naturally, the way eyes always grow heavy when the body has walked far enough and seen enough and is finally, somewhere safe, somewhere real, somewhere worth resting. Did you know that the ancient Romans believed the hour before dawn was the holiest hour of the day? Not midnight, not noon. This hour, the Diluculum, the priests rose before dawn to perform the first rituals of the day. The augurs, the men whose job it was to read the will of the gods in the flight of birds, did their work in this hour because they believed that in the time between darkness and light, the boundary between the human world and the divine world was at its thinnest, that the gods were closest in this hour, most willing to listen, most willing to speak. Lying here now, in the grass beside the Tiber, in the Diluculum of ancient Rome. You almost understand what they meant. There is something about this hour, something about the particular quality of this darkness, the way the air feels, the way the river sounds, the way the first suggestion of dawn touches the eastern sky. Something that feels like more than just the passing of time. Something that feels like permission. Permission to let go. Permission to stop holding on to the day that has passed. Permission to stop bracing for the day that is coming. Permission to exist just for this moment, in the space between, in the diluculum, in the threshold, in the gift of this exact hour. Above you the last stars shine, patient and ancient and kind. The same stars the Romans watched, the same stars their children watched, the same stars that have watched over every sleeping city, every sleeping person, every sleeping world, since long before any of this existed. They are watching over you now. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The river knows your name, the earth holds your weight, the stars keep their watch, and Rome, this ancient breathing city, this eternal, improbable, magnificent Rome, sleeps beside you. 1 million people breathing, 1 million dreams unfolding, 1 million lives resting in the dark, and yours among them. Yours among them. The eastern sky grows almost imperceptibly lighter, a shade, half a shade. The birds begin, not many, not yet, just one. A single bird somewhere in the trees along the bank. One note. Clear and pure and impossibly beautiful. Then silence, as if even the bird is not quite sure yet, as if even the bird is standing at the threshold, deciding, not yet, not quite yet, a little longer in the dark, a little longer in the in-between, a little longer here, with you beside the river, in the last long quiet breath of night. Your eyes are closed now. The river moves, the stars watch. The earth holds, and somewhere very far away, in a place that feels less real with every passing moment, the world you came from waits. It will still be there. It will always still be there. But right now, it is not here. Here there is only the river, only the grass, only the stars, only Rome, and you know it too. Now, in this moment, lying here in the grass beside the oldest river in your world, you know it completely. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not giving up. Rest is the most honest thing a person can do. After a long day, after a long week, after a long life of trying and working and caring and carrying. Rest is the reward, and you have earned it. You have more than earned it. The river knows this. The earth beneath you knows this. The stars above you know this. They have been watching over people just like you for longer than memory reaches. People who worked hard. People who cared deeply. People who tried their best. And then came here, to the river, to the grass, to the dark, to rest. You are one of them now, part of this long, unbroken line of human beings who have looked up at these stars and let go. Let go of the day. Let go of the worry. Let go of everything that felt so urgent just a few hours ago. It is still there. It will always still be there. But not tonight. Tonight it can wait. Tonight, you are here, beside the Tiber, in ancient Rome, in the last beautiful hour before dawn. And here is enough, more than enough. Everything. Your eyes are heavy now. You're breathing slow. Your body sinking gently into the earth. The grass holding you. The river singing to you. The stars watching over you. Rome breathing around you. And somewhere in the city, a dog shifts in a doorway. A baker shapes another loaf. A sailor pulls his cloak a little tighter. A child sleeps deeply, dreaming of something warm and good. All of them here, all of them breathing, all of them resting in the same dark, under the same stars, in the same ancient city, together, without knowing it, together and you among them, resting, finally, completely, resting, only this, only now, only sleep. You almost walk past it. Just a wall, high and ancient and unremarkable. But then you stop, because there is something in the air that was not there a moment ago. Something sweet and cool and impossibly delicate. Something that reaches you before you can even name it. You breathe in slowly, and there it is. Jasmine. Pure and cool and so beautiful, it almost hurts. Drifting over the top of the wall in a slow, invisible wave, carried on the softest breath of night air, and settling around you like something meant only for you. Only for this exact moment. Only for tonight. You stand still and breathe it in again. Deeper this time. Letting it fill your lungs completely. Letting it travel through you. The way only a scent can travel. Directly to the oldest and quietest part of your brain. The part that does not think. The part that only feels. And what it feels right now is safe. You find the gate, old iron, dark with age, standing slightly open as if it has been waiting for you all night, as if it always knew you would come. You push it gently with one hand. It opens without a sound, and you step through into another world entirely. The garden spreads before you, larger than you expected, much larger. Paths of pale stone wind between wide beds of flowers, roses and lavender and herbs whose names you do not know. Their colors muted in the moonlight to silver and gray and the deepest, softest green. Trees line the far wall, fig trees and olive trees, and something taller whose leaves catch the moonlight and turn it back to you like tiny mirrors. And over everything, that scent, that extraordinary scent. Jasmine and rose and lavender all at once, layered and complex and deeply calming, like the garden itself is breathing for you. You walk slowly along the nearest path, The stone is smooth and warm beneath your feet, even now, even at this hour, even in the deep of the night. You reach out your hand and let your fingers trail through the lavender growing beside the path. The tiny flowers are impossibly soft, like something made specifically to be touched in the dark, like something that exists only for this, for a hand moving slowly through it in the middle of the night. You bring your fingers to your face and breathe in. The scent is deep and calm and ancient. The Romans used lavender for everything, for bathing, for healing, for sleeping, for calming the minds of people who had carried too much for too long. They understood what we are only now beginning to remember: that this small, humble purple flower has the power to slow a racing mind, to calm a troubled heart, to carry a tired body gently, inevitably, towards sleep. You feel it happening now. Something in your chest loosening, a tension you did not even know you were holding. Something in your shoulders dropping, a weight you had forgotten you were carrying. Something behind your eyes growing soft and warm and heavy, the particular heaviness of a mind that is finally letting go. You walk further into the garden and find the fountain at its center. A simple stone bowl fed by a thin stream of water falling from a carved stone fish above, worn smooth by decades of water and weather, and the hands of people who sat here just as you are sitting now. The sound of the water fills the garden completely, soft and constant and utterly peaceful. You sit on the edge of the fountain and trail your fingers in the water. It is cool and clear and alive with gentle movement. You can feel every ripple your fingers make, spreading outward in slow, perfect circles, traveling to the edges of the stone bowl and returning, always returning. You look up at the sky above the garden, framed on all four sides by the high walls. It looks like a painting. A perfect rectangle of deep midnight blue scattered with stars so bright and so close that you feel you could reach up and touch them. You reach up anyway. Just for a moment, your hand open against the sky, the stars between your fingers roam above you and around you and beneath you, holding you completely. A rose grows beside the fountain, its petals fully open in the night air, turned toward the moon as if in conversation with it. You lean forward slowly and breathe it in. Deep, slow, The scent fills you completely, rich and sweet and warm, like something remembered from a very long time ago, like something your body has always known and always loved. You close your eyes, and for a long moment, you are nothing but sensation. The scent of the rose, the coolness of the water on your fingers, the warmth of the stone beneath you, the sound of the fountain beside you, the softness of the night air on your skin, the silence of a garden that exists outside of time. Did you know that wealthy Romans built their gardens specifically to be experienced at night? Not just in the daylight hours, but after dark, when the heat of the day had passed and the air had softened and the noise of the city had finally quieted. They planted night-blooming flowers deliberately, jasmine that opened only after sunset, white roses that glowed in the moonlight, moonflowers that unfurled their petals in the dark and closed again at dawn. They understood something profound, that the garden at night is a completely different place from the garden in daylight. Quieter, more mysterious, more honest somehow. A place where the noise and urgency of the day fall completely away. And what remains is only what is real. Only what matters. The scent, the water, the stars, the silence, the particular piece of being somewhere beautiful in the dark. You open your eyes slowly. The garden is exactly as it was, the fountain singing, the flowers breathing, the stars watching over everything. You sit here for a long time, longer than you planned. Your fingers still trailing in the cool water. Your eyes moving slowly from the rose to the lavender, to the stars above and back again. Not thinking, just being. Just here. Just this. Your breathing has slowed without you asking it to. Your body has grown heavy without you noticing when it happened. The heaviness of someone who has been held by something beautiful for long enough that the holding has become part of them. The garden has given you something tonight. Something quiet and real and yours. Something you will carry with you long after you have left this place, long after this night has ended. Into sleep. into dreams, into the morning that is waiting patiently on the other side of all this beautiful dark. You stand slowly, your whole body soft and warm and still. You walk back along the stone path, through the lavender, past the roses, toward the gate. You pause at the threshold and look back one last time. The fountain still singing, the flowers still breathing, the stars still watching over everything. Everything exactly as it was. Everything exactly as it will always be. You step back through the gate and into the street. Into the night, carrying the scent of jasmine with you, and lavender, and roses, and the sound of water falling on stone in the dark. Like gifts, like memories, like Rome itself, following you gently wherever the night takes you next. You have walked through Rome tonight a long way, further than you know, through streets that have not existed for 2,000 years, past fires that burned out long ago, beside a river that is still flowing, still you walked past a sleeping dog on a doorstep, past a baker whose hands never stopped moving, past an old man with his feet in warm water, smiling at a stranger in the dark, past sailors sleeping on their ships, past a child's drawing of a boat on a wall, past a woman selling figs who has done this 10,000 times and will do it 10,000 more, past a night watchman asleep at his post, his city safe without him tonight. You walked past all of them, and they did not know you were there. But you were there. You were really there. And now you are here. Wherever here is, warm, still, safe. The sounds of Rome are fading now, the river growing quieter, the city growing softer, the stars beginning their slow retreat. Let them go. Let Rome go. It will be there tomorrow night and the night after, and every night you need it. The door is always open. The streets are always waiting. The baker is always working. The river is always moving, always. But right now, you do not need any of it. Right now, you only need this: the weight of your body, the warmth around you, the slow, reliable rhythm of your own breathing, in and out, in and out. That is all. That is everything. Rome has given you something tonight, something you cannot quite name, something that will still be with you when you wake. A quietness, a sense of having been somewhere real, somewhere that mattered, somewhere that existed long before your worries and will exist long after. Carry it with you into sleep, into whatever dreams are waiting, into the morning that is coming, slowly, gently, without hurry. The lost world is still here. It has always been here, waiting beneath the surface of things, patient as stone, warm as lamplight, steady as the river. It will be here tomorrow night. Whenever you need it, whenever you want to come back, the door is always open. Sleep now. You are safe. You are warm. You are held. Rome is breathing around you. The river is moving. The stars are watching. The earth is holding you. And somewhere in the city, a baker is working in the dark, his hands moving through the dough. Fold and press and turn, fold and press and turn, so that when the world wakes up, there will be bread, there will always be bread. There will always be light. There will always be Rome. And there will always be this moment, this darkness, this peace. If you wish to travel again tomorrow night and the night after, and every night that follows, subscribe, and I will be here. A new door, a new world, waiting for you, always waiting, always open, always yours. Good night, traveler. Good night.